Hello everyone, we're back for yet another badass rendition of OpenBOR games. We're going to check out Marvel Infinity War. This game takes approximately 1 minute to load due to the assets having to load. So I'm actually going to pause this game and we'll be back in about a minute. Now we're back in action. The anticipation was amazing because there's just a wealth of content in this game. I'll look at tribute to Stan Lee. Thank you, Zivator and Muru. I mean, you guys did a tremendous job on this game, and we're going to see this in action right now. And it is a thorough surprise, just the wealth of content in this game. You have the primary story mode, but you also have remakes of previous games that were on Super Nintendo and so on. Like Marvel War of the Gems, Captain America and the Avengers, Spiderman Maximum Carnage, and X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. I'll show you a few of these in action, but we're going to go to story mode first. And when I first played this, it did not have the hell level. So it is nice to see a hell level as well. We're going to go to Russia. It has kind of a Mega Man style where you can pick the stages. And each of these stages has a whole plethora of characters you can pick. And we're going to do Russia first. And of course, we're going to pick Carnage. And I love all these characters. I mean, A, B, and C list characters here. And one thing that I really appreciate amongst these DC and Marvel games that I've been playing is the way that they've done a tremendous job on the stats between the characters. As far as how powerful they are, as far as Captain Marvel, Thanos, and so on. And of course, the difference between Thing and Hulk. Let's check this out for a moment here, and they did a great job with the animation, gameplay, essence of Carnage. I mean, way back, the great game, Maximum Carnage. I mean, that's really my first experience with seeing Carnage in a video game. And you didn't play as him directly, but he was the character that you went up against when he teamed up with Spider-Man and Venom against him. Let's try to not get my butt whooped there. Use a special move and take these guys out. And I love that each character has a nice special move and a cool shield move. And some characters can actually glide or fly. I love the sound effect he makes when he does a special move. We got our double tap move. Double tap and attack. Very cool. Let's see what happens if I jump in the air and try using some moves. That's cool. I can go have a sandwich break. The enemies can't touch me. I always love stuff like that. Like I said in one of my previous videos when I was playing Jaws Unleashed, I actually got a person, one of the scientists that had a key card, had him underneath the water and went to have a bathroom and a sandwich break, came back 20 minutes later, and he was still screaming underneath the water. That was a bug in the game where they didn't have the victims that were underwater drown. And I'm loving that there's a 3D targeting system on me right now. I cannot think of a whole lot of games that I've ever played in history where I'm doing a side-scrolling gameplay and having a 3D target attack me. I kind of like that. Very cool. Tremendous job on this, and we're going to go to one of the other stages and try maybe 2 more characters out. And then we'll try one of the bonus content games, like Marvel War of the Gems or so on. So Carnage is definitely damn cool. We'll go to one of the other story mode stages. We'll go to the Hellfire Club and see what that's all about. Who do we have here? Cable, Gambit, Rogue, Archangel, sorry. We'll play as Emma Frost. I can see her right in the middle there. And I love the difference in the stages here, their special moves and all that. Oh, she has a 2-player mode activate style thing. And I have a shield. I can actually just pull up the 2-player mode activate, let her attack enemies while I'm invincible. And I used to use this exploit in the Gauntlet reboot that was on PS4 a couple years back. And they eventually patched it, but the base game, you're actually able to call enemies and be invincible while they're attacking other enemies. And you can go through the entirety of the game being absolutely invincible that way. But of course they patched it. But if you actually download the base game and don't let it update and just stay offline, you can use that exploit. It is a very damn cool exploit. But loving the 2-player mode activate, and I can just stand there, I'm minding my own business, let her take out all the enemies, or I can help out too. Very cool stuff there. So great job with Emma Frost there. Let's try one of the other characters real quick. But exceptional game here. And I do love the stats, as I mentioned. And going way, way back to just Dungeons and Dragons in general, the statistics with that, the die rolling and all that. There's actually an offshoot of it for DC and Marvel. They both had their own games with their own cards and Dungeons and Dragons style rule sets. And I had a great amount of fun with both of those. We're going to go to... What stage are we going to try next? We'll try New York. Why not? But I love the... where you can actually compare characters such as Wonder Woman to Batman and Superman to other characters in it and see their strength, attributes, and all that. That was very, very cool how they did it. And these people did a tremendous job in this game as well as the other games, the Avengers, United Battle Force, and so on. Let's play as Daredevil here. Because apparently, even though these characters are off of Netflix now, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and so on, we can still enjoy them eternally in this incredibly awesome Marvel's Infinity War game. I keep saying Avengers Infinity War because I have that movie still in my mindset right now. But very, very cool that even though these characters are going to be off on Netflix, probably because of that merger with Disney and 20th Century Fox and all that jazz, but at least we can still enjoy them in this game. And I did thoroughly enjoy all those characters in their own shows, especially the Punisher. That was a great, great actor. I loved him in Walking Dead. One of my favorite characters in that show. You just have to watch it for yourself. I don't want to spoil how he is as a character, but he was tremendously fun to watch. Let's see what kind of special move Daredevil has there. Very, very cool. Definitely digging it. This is definitely demanding of a 4-player mode activate. And we're going to definitely have to try one of the other modes real quick while we're here. But yes, you have all these stages, great, great story mode. And I have a feeling that once you beat them all, if you beat the story mode, you're going to probably have some bonus stage like the Wily Castle. I didn't get that far yet, but I'm most certainly going to do it. We're going to load up Spider-Man Maximum Carnage right now. And by the way, this is one of my favorite graphic novels from the 1990s. And I also love that there's a tremendously amazing soundtrack that came courtesy of Green Jello, a.k.a. Green Jelly. They had to change their name because of, obviously, the licensing issue at the time. We'll play as Deadpool here. But the song Carnage Rolls was a great, great song. And it also had the song on the soundtrack from Dumb and Dumber called The Bear Went Over the Mountain. Both of those songs were pretty fun from Green Jello at the time. And they also did the song Three Little Pigs. Let's see what kind of special move this guy has. Donkey Kong! Yes! I can live with that. But they did a great, great job on this. And if you like this game, you can play it within the context of this Marvel Infinity War. You can play the Super Nintendo version with Venom and Spider-Man as playable characters. And of course, you can play the sequel, follow-up, called Separation Anxiety, which was equally fun. And also try reading the graphic novel if you have a chance to do it. We definitely need to have a movie adaptation of Maximum Carnage and or Separation Anxiety. Now I'm looking forward to having a Carnage style affair because they did a great, great job with Tom Hardy as Venom. I'm really, really hoping they do a great job with a character like Carnage in a future representation of that character. Let's do that special move one more time. Really, really digging a Donkey Kong style effect there. Okay, let's try the other game. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse is actually one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. I love that it had this little extra panache where you can do Street Fighter style moves such as the Hadouken and all that with your X-Men style characters. So we're going to go to X-Men Mutant Apocalypse right now. And that'll be the last one I showcase for this one right here. And who are we going to play as? Let's try a character that's not typically available. Where's my Nightcrawler? I know he's around here somewhere. There he is. Okay, let's check this out. And Wolverine is one of my favorite characters to play in that game. And he would typically be used in this stage in the original. Very, very cool. Love playing this Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler doing his action sequences in those X-Men movies is about as cool as seeing Yoda doing his action sequences. We're going to get a few enemies on the screen and try this guy's special moves out. Okay, let's try this out. Do a little test drive of this special move. incredibly awesome here. And speaking of statistics and such, we're going to move on to a Dungeons and Dragons game next. But Zivator and Maru, you did a great job on Marvel Infinity War. I'm looking forward to showcases this in the future, and others and users enjoying this on their Mini NES and SNES, as well as their PlayStation Classics. So we're going to move on to 2 of 3 Dungeons and Dragons games right now. We're going to do the Endless Quest first. Right now, we're playing the Endless Quest, a great 1 of 3 Dungeons & Dragons games that you can play on the OpenBOR core. All 3 of them work phenomenally well, and I love that this actually follows the games that Capcom set as precedents for this, such as Shadow over Mystera and Tower of Doom, complete with the level up aspect and the 4-player mode activate component, which you definitely should do in all means if you can, within the context of your mini classics. So let's check this out and see what we have to go with here. New game. Oh look, we have Arcade Quest, similar to Marvel Infinity War, where we have the arcade version of King of Dragons, kind of a remake of it. Very cool, love that. And we have all characters unlocked for Endless Quest or Training Bridge, if you finish the game. Right now we're going to do the Endless Quest. And we have a fighter, a wizard, cleric, thief, dwarf. And I always play as the dwarf if I play in Golden Axe, and I usually play as the elf if I play in Gauntlet. But for right now, I'm going to try out the wizard and see how he holds out amongst these enemies, the denizens of this crazy universe here. And I absolutely love the breathtaking soundtrack, and the scope of this game is just impeccable. You'll see for yourself in a moment here. And again, this is not the easiest game. I mean, you can get your butt whooped really quick because you start out at pretty low health. But you can level up just like in Shadow over Mystera, and of course, Tower of Doom. 8 out of 8 health, 50 out of 50 magic. I need some experience points, I need to level up. One thing I do like is that if you use your magic, you can actually stay in spot and spawn, kind of like farm for your magic, whereas in a game like Golden Axe, you actually had to get the reliance of elves and potions to restore your magic. Here, you can just stay in one spot and let your magic restore. That is a very nice ability there. And let's check this out. Love the soundtrack. It reminds me of Conan the Barbarian and Destroyer. We definitely need a new Conan movie. Oh great, I'm getting my butt whooped already. Use a little bit of magic there. And I got my butt kicked really quick. Let's try a different character real quick in one of the other stages. I do like that you can pick multiple stages, and if you get your butt whooped in one, just like in Mega Man, also, ironically, a Capcom game, you can pick another stage. So let's pick a fighter and try one of the other stages. And they all have their various difficulty levels as well. I have 12 out of 12 health, so I might have a better chance here. What do we have here? We'll try this stage. Journey to the Rock. So it's a side-scrolling stage. Very cool. I like that I'm gliding across the ground here. This music is truly epic. I love the score for this game. I'm doing a bit better. I have experience, so I can easily level up now. I'll use my magic ability. We all know that the fighter typically would not have much magic in comparison to the cleric or the wizard. But great job on this game. Again, you're not always going to be able to play the most current version of these because some of them use different memory allocations and or different OpenBOR builds. So sometimes you might have to load an earlier build. And again, I'm going to cover some of this in my the compatibility list that me and a great friend of mine, Mike, Driver99, worked on to help you guys and gals to have the best experience with your OpenBOR games on the mini classics. And we're going to have this running on the PlayStation Classic in the near future as well. And that 1 gigabyte of RAM is going to go a long way as far as some of these games that would not really run on the mini NES and SNES. But we're going to move on to the other Dungeons & Dragons game real quick, but I absolutely love the Endless Quest. Great game, great job on that. We're going to try Rise of Warduke right now. And we're going to stay on the Capcom kick and maybe try out another Capcom-inspired OpenBOR game after this. But this game also has great gameplay, a little bit of few perks and additions to the other one. Great animated sequence there. Makes me feel like I'm going back to the 1980s, 90s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon series. How many of you remember that amazing series? I almost want to go back and watch it. Okay, who are we going to pick as here? Original, and I'll pick this character to start with. And I'm going to try doing some Capcom style moves because I have a feeling, since it is a Capcom inspired game, that we'll have a character like that. Great music, great gameplay. Really, truly feels like an update of the arcade version. I have to say that OpenBOR and Dreamcast are probably two of my absolute favorite things that I play on the mini classics to date. I really have just an amazing amount of fun with both of these. Let's try one of these special moves here. There's one. And I did a Street Fighter style move there. That's cool. The Hogan move. Let's take out this War Duke boss real quick. And I'm getting my butt whooped there. Pretty bad. There we go. That's the move I can do. That was a Hogan style move. And I like the sound effects. Sound like they're right out of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon series to boot. And you can see my magic, the blue bar is actually restored too. So you can use that and spam that just like I did in the last Endless Quest game. And we have War Duke down apparently. He underestimated me, okay. Most impressive. Very cool. So I'm going to be playing this as well. We're going to move on to another game now while we're here, because we just have so many games to showcase and not enough time. We're going to move on to Ghosts and Demons, which, by the way, you cannot fully play, but we'll try to work on fixing this up in the future. But you can beat the entirety of the first stage. Now, I'm going to show you something very damn cool you can do with this game. And there are many nuances to this game, which I really thoroughly enjoy. And going back to the original Ghosts and Goblins legacy, games like Super Ghosts and Ghosts, and of course, should we say Super Ghosts and Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins on PSP actually had pretty bad reviews by some people because they were just so difficult to beat. But we're going to try a new game real quick. And yes, Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins for PSP got bad reviews because some people couldn't even beat the first stage. But like Metroidvania games where you can actually get power-ups and armaments to make your game easier, you can do the same in Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins and traverse levels that you previously played, and you can do them much easier the second time around. Like the double jump ability that you have in Super Ghosts and Ghosts, for instance. In Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, I'd have to go as far as saying it's not as difficult as Super Ghosts and Ghosts for Super Nintendo. But very cool game, and there are a lot of nuances to adjust here. One thing I do like is if you get a special weapon, you actually retain it if you die. But very difficult game. You can play the entirety of the first stage, which is well worth it for itself. You can obviously play this on OpenBOR on PC if you don't want to wait around for it to be fixed up for the mini classics. But you can most certainly enjoy the entirety of the first stage. One nuance I do like in this version I'm playing right now, you can actually just walk right over the tombstones, which I find pretty funny. Just check it out for yourself. Just walk right over them. Let's try to see how far we can get here real quick. And again, this is a very difficult game. You probably won't make it very far the first time. I suspect that you're going to take at least 40 lives to try to even get past the first stage. As with any of these Ghosts and Goblins games. But as long as you can get rid of the javelin and pick up one of the other weapons, you'll probably do a good job. You can do a double jump from the get-go there. Very cool. Yeah, I got hit. I'm screwed. But there's another suit of armor right down there. Another thing I'm going to show you that is really cool. You can do this in many OpenBOR games. You might not be aware of this. I'm actually going to go back to the main menu right now. I'm going to end game. Go back to the main menu. And you can go down to options. And then you can go to system. Again, you can also go to video and try out some filters and shaders if you'd like to. Like right here, I'm on 16-bit simple 2x. You can go into bilinear 2XL, one of my favorites to run with, Super 2XL, and even Super Eagle. And these are all incredible to check out. We'll try it on Super Eagle right now. And then we're going to go back. And I would recommend changing back to the original one when you're done. Otherwise, it's going to be that way for all OpenBOR games you play. And I'm going to go down to System. And again, the System will stay for some of these as well. I'm going to go to Cheats and turn Cheats on. And then I'm going to go to Back. Config Settings. So you can actually restore the OpenBOR defaults if you mess things up. I'm going to go back right now. I have Infinity Lives on. Infinity Credits on. I can even do Infinity Health on. But I can go back to System and disable cheats if I'd like to. But several games that you play, you're going to have cheats, which is really, really cool that you have them embedded within the game. Kind of like the Unibios for Neo Geo and some of the stuff like that. So we're going to try it out right now. I'm not going to play the entire stage because I want you to experience this for yourself. I've actually beaten the stage without using this cheat, but I'm showing it just a showcase for the game. Okay. So yes, we have Infinity Lives, Infinity Continues, and enemies cannot touch us right now. So very, very cool. See that? I cannot die. They can knock my suit or armor off, but I cannot die. So you just go willy-nilly through the stage and kind of learn it if I'd like to. But I would highly recommend playing this game legitimately. So you have cheats off legitimately unless you don't want to be such a masochist and just want to be able to get to the first stage. And if you get to the second stage, you'll see the problem with the inability to beat it due to the assets not loading properly, which we're probably going to be able to fix up by adding support for another OpenBOR version, like an earlier OpenBOR version. Kind of like we did with Jurassic 2.3, 5.3, and 2.54. The one has the mic support, and the one has the better performance and speed overall. Look, I can even stay on the spikes there and just jump right out of that chasm by jumping onto that platform there. If I could actually jump up and stay on there. Kind of reminds me when I played that PS2 game, Batman Begins, but I had invincibility on to play around with, and I got stuck because I got to a part where you're supposed to die every time. So the caveats of having invincibility, getting stuck. I don't want to show you too much more of the game though, because I want you to be able to enjoy this for yourself. But I'm going to go back and actually turn the cheats off right now, and we'll do one or two more OpenBOR games right now. So I'm going to go back and actually go back to options, go to video. I'm going to turn it back to the original software filter real quick, which is the simple 2x. I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go do cheats under systems options, and I'm going to turn cheats off. Now I'm back to square one. Okay, now I'm going to do the down select to quit my game. The typical home shortcut. And we're going to try out, what are we going to do next? We'll do Double Dragon 0. We're going to do this with Turbo Fire Mode Activate. Again, you can hold down the attack button and the select button, and you'll have Turbo Fire Mode Activate for any button that you want to use within the context of OpenBOR. And rinse and repeat to disable it. But we'll try it out for a moment here, see what we have. We'll pick Marion, why not? And we'll enable Turbo Fire. So hold down the attack button and select, and we're pushing 16 times a second. We should be able to be boss at this game. Badass with Turbo Fire Mode Activate without a doubt. So definitely enjoy OpenBOR with the Turbo Fire, especially if you're doing a 2-player, 4-player Mode Activate component. Very, very cool. Really enjoying this. And again, we can disable the Turbo Fire by doing the same thing. Okay, we're going to disable the Turbo Fire, and we're going to try a couple other games real quick. But very, very cool. Double Dragon 0. I'm going to disable Turbo Fire. Okay, it's disabled. I held down the attack button and selected disable it. I'm exiting. Now we're going to try out another Capcom game. How about Final Fight Heroes? And it has a nice cel-shaded style appearance. Kind of like the Tekken versus Street Fighter game that they made. And Namco is actually supposed to make their own variant of it. Capcom made theirs, but Namco was supposed to make theirs as well, but it never happened. But I still thoroughly enjoy the Capcom rendition of it. Let's check this out and see what we have here. Who are we going to play as? We'll play as Cammy, true badass assassin. Now, I'm really loving the cel-shaded style graphics here. Okay. Let's get some action and play now. But each of these games that I've showcased today, I thoroughly enjoyed all of them. Very awesome. You gotta definitely get some special attacks in right away before you get your butt whooped. I'm gonna do the Turbo Fire mode activate with this character as well. I'm gonna hold down the attack button and select. There we go, Turbo Fire mode activate. They got nothing on me now. This Turbo Fire is amazing. I just need my NES Advantage so I can do the slow motion ability like I used to do in games like Gradius and even Adventures of Bio-Billy, some of the Lycon stages, which were pretty difficult at the time. And many of you might not be aware of the fact, I've covered this in a couple videos before, that Bio-Billy was actually more difficult in the United States because over in Japan you weren't able to rent video games, but in the United States you could. So as a result, companies like Konami made their games more difficult, so you wouldn't be able to beat it in one rental, and you would pretty much buy the game. So if you played Mad City, the Japanese version of Bio-Billy, it is far easier to beat. And I've actually did a video where I went through the stage and I exploited the AI as a result. I'll probably link to that in the description so you can enjoy exactly what I'm talking about. I'm definitely digging this Turbo Fire mode activate. I'm going to have to do a few more special attacks here before I get my butt whooped anymore. That character definitely seems like a tribute to Andre the Giant. Speaking of Andre the Giant, we're going to play another Double Dragon game right next, which has Andre the Giant as a playable character in it. But let me disable this Turbo Fire again. We'll make this the final game for this other OpenBOR badass game demonstration. We're going to do a Double Dragon right here. It'll be Double Dragon Reloaded, and it has WWF, aka WWE wrestlers that you can play as. This game plays phenomenally well, no issues whatsoever. But let's see what kind of characters we can play as, and this will be our final test example today. And I'll do another video probably after the update. But hope you're going to enjoy the weekend, and the update should come out probably by the tail end of the weekend. But they did a tremendous job on this. Double Dragon is one of my favorite games ever. One of the best side-scrolling two-player component games from way, way back. And it does have a little bit of a load time initially, but it's well worth it for the amount of content that you get as far as playable characters in the game, which you're going to see in a moment here. Okay? And yes, never play for an OpenBOR game. Should we say pay for an OpenBOR game unless you're paying for the one commercial one, which is known as Badass Babes, which is on PC, which you can get on Steam now. So here we go. We're going to go to our character select and see who we have to pick from here. We have the main characters, and then we have some wrestlers here. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Savage, Ultimate Warrior, should we say, then Randy Macho Man Savage. I said them backwards. Big Boss Man, Andre the Giant. We'll pick Andre the Giant. Great, great actor. I'm never ever going to mix Ultimate Warrior and Randy Macho Man Savage up again. That was a bad mistake there. Just undeniably unmistakable characters. You can never ever mix those two up. But very, very cool being able to play as Andre the Giant there. And it was such a sad day when Andre the Giant passed. He was such a great person in a role of wrestling in real life and Princess Bride and so on. I mean, I've heard so many great stories about him. Him and Alan Rickman are two of the greatest, nicest, friendliest actors you could ever conceivably meet in life, from what I'm hearing. Let me do some special moves with him. There we go. I'll do that double tap move. That is great. You can do a double player mode activate here. Oh, that is awesome. They even have the wrestling moves mixed in. I am enjoying this immensely. The only thing that would be cooler than this is having a Bobbles, Little, or Big Adventure on a mini classic, if that ever conceivably happens. Great, great job here. I might try one more wrestler. Oh yeah, Bobble, you got nothing on me now. You're going down. Do some wrestling moves on you. Yeah, Bobble has nothing on me now. That's funny. I'm actually towered over a Bobble. That just shows how big Andre the Giant really is. And I would absolutely love to see an Andre the Giant biographical movie, kind of like we have the Rocket Man and the Bohemian Rhapsody and the Dirt movies of late. I like biographical movies, and I'd love to see them do one on Andre the Giant. But we're gonna pick one more wrestler for our tail end here. I will pick maybe Hulk Hogan, because I was kind of disappointed that the WWE game that I got on PS4 actually had Hulk Hogan removed from it. That sorely disappointed me. So we're going to play as Hulk Hogan now, make up for that. Okay, Hulk Hogan for the win here. I was pretty sorely disappointed, like I said before in previous videos, that Hulk Hogan was removed from my WWE game for PS4. It really disappointed me, so I didn't really upgrade after that because he was removed. Oh yeah, pile driver. And I also mentioned I had some good friends back in the 80s when we used to watch WWF before WWE. They'd actually climb to the top of the couch like it's the end of the ring, the ropes, and dive onto each other, including myself. Those were the days. And if I'm going to play any NBA game, I have to have my historical characters such as Mark Price, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, and so on. We have to have those classic characters, just like any WWE or WWF game has to have Hulk Hogan, without a doubt. I'm not going to play it if Hulk Hogan doesn't exist in it, unless it is a game such as Pro Wrestling for Nintendo, which has characters like Starman, which is an entirely different thing. But you need to have your Hulk Hogan in the pile driver. Oh yes. This never gets old. I can do this all day. Let's see how he handles the bobbles for the tail end of this video. Too bad I don't have a t-shirt on that I can rip off. If the developer of the game sees this, how about you update it so you have a t-shirt that you can rip off, Hulk Hogan style. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got this. Think you're gonna take Hulk Hogan out with a baseball bat? I think not. I'll do some more pile drivings and elbow smashes and leg kicks. This is very, very cool. I love the fact that they put these wrestlers in this game. It just works out so well. Such a creative and clever idea. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys and gals, and I'll be doing more open board videos after I do the update. But let's do one more pile driver to boot here. Need to do one more pile driver for the tail end of this video. If I don't get my butt whooped, of course. There we go!